All right, you guys, just some quick thoughts on the Razer Pro Click Mini. So first thing you'll notice is the packaging is nice and minimal, which I tend to like. In the box, they do give you the mouse itself, plus some documentation. Of course, we don't need any of that, so we'll just go for the mouse itself here. And so here we are. This is the Razer Pro Click Mini. So first thing you'll notice, obviously, is the shape is rather small. So this is very similar to something like the Logitech MX Anywhere mouse, which has a similar shape. Aside from the shape, the second thing you'll notice probably is the nice texture we have here in the sides, which I really like. It's kind of like this dotted rubber texture that just feels super sturdy and makes the mouse just feel really premium. So I really like that. The shape will be hit or miss for you depending on your hand size. So I have a pretty big hand in comparison to this mouse. So it's not the best shape for me, but it does work. Overall, it's just really clean, sleek design, and I like it a lot. Now, obviously, one of the main reasons you'd buy a mouse like this is because it is a silent mouse. So here's a quick click test. It's so quiet, I don't even know if that will be audible on camera, but it is very quiet, so it's definitely fulfilling its duty there. However, what I don't like about this mouse is the scroll wheel and side buttons are not quite as quiet. So here are the side buttons and the scroll wheel. Now you can scroll in stages, or you can flip this little switch here in the middle, and that turns on the infinite scroll. So you see there, it's kind of just scrolling forever. I don't really ever use that personally. I typically prefer stages. But you do hear that those buttons are just not quite as quiet as the clicks. In fact, they're not quiet at all. Now, it's not a huge deal because you may not end up using those clicks as often as you would use the right and left mouse button, but it is just something to be aware of. Okay, in terms of power, this is going to use a set of AA batteries, so you can put 2 AA batteries in there. Personally, I like a lightweight mouse, so by now you guys probably know my trick. All I do, take a piece of aluminum, drop it in there, and then get a AAA battery, which is much lighter. This is actually a lithium-ion AAA battery, so it's pretty light. And then you just put it in there like that, and then if you flip this thing on, you see that it is now on. Right now it's in Bluetooth mode, but you can put it in Bluetooth or in 2.4 gigahertz mode. Together with a AAA battery and the lid, you're looking at a total of about 70 grams. So it's pretty lightweight for what it is. Some people like heavier mice. I prefer as light of a mouse as you can possibly get. So that's the way I run this thing, but totally personal preference for you. Speaking of the lid, it does come off and go back on pretty easily, so it just uses a set of magnets to do that, but it doesn't feel like you're kind of breaking anything off or having to really mess with it too much to get it on and off. It's pretty straightforward. And then as you saw in there, for the dongle, there is a spot where you can just store it inside the mouse itself like that. So a nice easy storage compartment to make sure you never lose that thing. So great for travel, great for office environments. If we're working somewhere quiet like at home or in a library or something, this is a really fantastic option. I personally prefer mice that are a little bit bigger, but this does work really well. By the way, the tracking on this thing is really good. I would say it's gaming level performance. It does go up to 1,000 hertz polling rate. I only ever use it on 125, but it is excellent and I have no complaints there. So those are some quick thoughts about the Razer Pro Click Mini. Thanks for watching.